Earlier this year, a near century-long rivalry came ahead when the newest forms of both Godzilla and King Kong clashed on the big screen. Sorry, I meant at home on HBO Max. Fans were going to war over which giant was going to emerge victorious, and when the dust settled, the gorilla whale Godzilla remained the king of the monsters. Although, if you score their fights on a point-by-point basis, Kong technically takes the W. While the monkey couldn't beat Big G, his efforts weren't for naught. Kong proved he has every right to be king if given the chance. Today we're going to go over his feats from both movies he appeared in to find out how strong is King Kong. For starters, let's talk about Kong's younger years. Kong was able to throw around a helicopter, this being a Boeing CH-47 Chinook. This model helicopter has a mass upwards of 22,680 kilograms, aka nearly 25 tons. Not to be outdone, when swinging around this tree while battling the Skull Devil, Kong stripped it of its branches and used it as a bat. Assuming this tree is 1.25 times young Kong's height, only a meter wide, and the species of said tree is the local rainbow gum eucalyptus tree, a native tree in Indonesia, it would have a mass of nearly 25,690 kilograms, aka 28.26 tons. Not to mention, Kong could wrestle around with the skull crawlers themselves, who on the low end weigh 40 tons. The big mama reptile Skull Devil weighs upwards of 100 tons, more than doubling the lifting strength already covered. During Kong's final showdown with the Skull Devil, however, he was able to surprise attack the 682 wannabe with a giant boulder. Scaled to Kong's thigh, this boulder would be nearly 6 meters wide, assuming a limestone composition, and it would weigh 235.9 tons, again, over twice the previously mentioned weight. While the next feat isn't of strength, let's talk about Kong's combat speed. While dueling with Godzilla in their final battle, Kong was able to raise his battle axe fast enough to block the incoming atomic breath. Based on the distance the beam traveled moments earlier, and given it a time of roughly 2.5 minutes, Godzilla's blast at the very least can travel over Mach 95 speeds, nearly 3 times faster than Earth's escape velocity. Using modern Kong's height of 102.7 meters as a reference, Big G's beam had to travel about 233.54 meters, and Kong had to move the axe about 45 meters to block it. So, at the beam's speed, it would have only needed 0.00707 seconds to reach Kong, making his attack speed around 6,210 meters per second, over Mach 18. At those speeds, Kong could punch over 45 times faster than the fastest car in 2021. The SCC 300+. During the build-up to Godzilla vs. Kong, a promo for the big monkey said his punches measure up to 4.2 on the Richter scale, something used to measure earthquakes. With power like this, adult Kong could hit with a whopping 8.4 kilotons. Whoa, that can't be right. That's just over half the little boy bomb from the bombing of Hiroshima. Yeah, sure, I'm not striking with energy output that high, but keep in mind, this version of Godzilla was woken up from a nap by nuclear testing. How the hell does Kong even come close to being worthy as king of the monsters with power like that? Well, the simple answer is, writers just don't know how insane the things they write are. For example, Godzilla's blast from Godzilla vs. Kong was calculated by yours truly to be worth over 2,800 exatons, whereas the movie says Godzilla's blast is worth only 315 teratons, 8.9 million times weaker than what actual math says. And while I'm more of a Godzilla guy, we have to be fair in comparing both kaijus. Taking the aforementioned 8.4 kilotons, aka 8,400 tons of TNT, that the promo said Godzilla could strike with, we can apply the math multiplier to find Kong, realistically, should be able to strike with an energy output of nearly 75 gigatons. Now that's more like it! That's a punch worth 1,500 SAR bombas. All of a sudden, the battle axe Kong used once doesn't seem that far out of his range. While it's unlikely we'll see Kong use it in later movies, it's worth mentioning here since we won't be seeing Kong on How Strong Is in quite some time. After gaining a pretty decent charge, Kong struck Godzilla in the head hard enough to put them both down. Keep in mind, a younger Godzilla was able to tango with the space monster King Ghidorah. Using calcs from the totally awesome power scaling YouTuber Chuck, link in the description, Ghidorah's gravity beams should be hitting with 196 gigatons of TNT. So for the battle axe to rough up Big G like that, there must have been some massive power behind it. And yeah, that's about it for Kong. If you want more of the Monsterverse, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, feel free to check out my Siren Head video, or maybe the most recent Scoring the Fight episode, since next week's video is going to be impressive. Most impressive. And yeah, bye-bye.